Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to the channel. My name is Tony. This is a 15-minute gamer, and welcome to Rule the Waves 3. This is a game, it's naval fleet management, naval design, construction, wars, everything, but it looks like an Excel spreadsheet. You will have to use your imagination here. I was wondering how to do this justice because I've played about 10, 11 hours, maybe a little bit less on it over the weekend. Really enjoying it and kind of selling it out there and showing you what the buttons do, what you might be interested in, and what this game can offer you, but in an interesting way that doesn't go on for hours and hours and hours. So we'll see. Of course, as always, let me know in the comments if I failed that, if you want to check this game out, if you played any others, if you've got any hints or tips for new players, that sort of thing. And don't forget, most importantly, subscribe and like this video if you enjoyed it. Right, so what is Rule the Waves? Well, it's a massive simulation game. It covers naval warfare from 1890 to 1970. So you can go from having really old pre-dreadnought ships that look like, let's see if we can just click on one, that, to aircraft carriers, to air forces, to submarines, to missile boats, to radars and everything. You can go through that whole period of the game, which is just amazing that it covers so much. I've started in like 1890 because I kept it easy, seeing what it does, that sort of thing, and I knew I wasn't going to be too many complex things. There's a lot of stuff you can set up at the start. Different nations you can control, so you can be the English, Germans, Austro-Hungarian, the Japanese, USA, Russia, and Spain. I chose France. I was watching a guy do some YouTube videos, and I was kind of like, you know what? He's got a right point. You don't want to pick a nation that's huge. You don't want to pick a nation that's a bit landlocked. So, like, you know, if you choose Hungary, you kind of could be screwed quite quickly. If they just block that off, then you've got nothing left. So if they just put a blockade here, you're kind of screwed. So they recommend France, Spain, or Germany are kind of the three you want to go for if you're starting out in the game. I'll put a link to his YouTube channel in the description. He's really good. I was trying to play along with what he was doing, but this game is so random and unpredictable because it's all like randomized and how it all works, and your ships are going to be slightly different, that within about an hour of watching his videos, it was gone. So this is the map. You got the world. You got all these different areas. So you can see here, you got Southeast Asia, South Pacific. I've got some colonies down there. Northeast Asia, you know, that's where Japan and Russia are going to be fighting. You've got America over here. Obviously, everyone's got some colonies kind of here. So you can see here, France has some. If they have like this little grey thing over, that means no one owns them. They're neutral. So they're right for the take, and say if something breaks out, you can go and colonize it. I got one over here. I can't remember where it was. I think it was over there by attending to it and going to it. These are all these ships in service. You can start off a small, large, medium fleet. I went for a small fleet, and this is kind of what I've built it up to at the moment. So these are kind of all my ships. B for battleships. CA stands for armored cruiser. But I'm going to point it out here. I'm not a naval tactician. I don't know much. This is really from a new person's point of view. You've got CLs, which are light cruisers, and you've got these KEs, which are kind of like colony ships. So you can say they're all based around the colonies, and they can do convoy patrols and that sort of thing. So they kind of be quite small. They're built a little bit differently. They're colonial. So yeah, they tend not to be in any groups. These are all your ships. Double click on it. You can see your design. So you can see it's got two 12-inch guns, two 10-inch guns, 8x6-inch guns. It's got two submerged torpedo tubes. Local fire control. Basically, that means the guy in the gun is doing the firing. It's not controlled by the conning tower or anything. There's a French battleship, the Jurigberry, which is a Jurigberry class, which was made in 1890. It has its displacement, its max speed, who is command it. So you can see this dude here is below average. Well done. There's sort of a 12-inch belt, 2-inch deck, 11. Do I know what a belt is? Not really. I think it's this area here. As far as I know, all ships have been 12 so far. And then you can see history of it. So you can see, like, every ship has this. January is when it came down, what it did, what it's been doing. See there, it took part in the Battle of Bordinia against the Italian Navy and scored 3 main battery hits on them ships there. And we actually won that battle by quite a bit. Because, if you hadn't noticed, we're currently at war with Italy. Yes. I propagated that. I'm a bit worried that Germany also seems to be creeping up here, but never mind. Basically how this works, the higher it goes, the more war. Once it crosses this line, the chances are you're going to go to war. This is dictated by your actions. So when you click turn, basically you'll get given choices to say, right, a diplomat's being shot somewhere, what are you going to do about it? So you can be like, whatever, leave it up to the politicians, or right, yeah, I want them to bring this to justice, otherwise we're going to war. And you'll get, like, prestige points. You'll get budget increases. You get budget minuses. You could tension levels raise, and there's loads of them. So when I show you how turns work, we'll go from there. You got ships under construction here. So you can see I'm currently building a battleship and 2 cruisers. So the Joan of Arc class. We've got the Guidon and the Montcalm. Along here is what class they are. Displacement, speed. ASW would always be anti-submarine. We don't have that because submarines haven't been invented yet. Where they're getting built, you can actually build them other places. Like you can say Germany, do you want to go and build some battleships for me if they've got the room? The cost, how long it's going to take. So 14 months, 16 months. Most ships take around about 2.5 to 3 years. And a short description of what's on it, then followed by divisions, because you make divisions. Obviously, we've got no submarines because of that. Coastal fortifications. You can build them. So if we click on here and we go to... So basically, I'm at war with Italy. Now, Italy only can operate, from here, is this Mediterranean area. If we have a look around, they don't have... I don't think they have any anywhere else. No. So when I've been looking at coastal fortifications, because I knew Italy was being a pain in the arse, I've been sort of doing here. So you click on here. You can see here, this southern France has a battery 4-inch. Battery of 4 for 6-inch, battery of 11 of 4, 12, and you can see all there the base capacity. So we could put a new naval base in there. If you want to build fortifications, click on there. You could put that on. In southern France, how many do you want? And then it tells you the cost down here. So that's going to take out your monthly build cost. We'll cover them in a second. So that's how you build batteries. Just click on it. And as you can see, they're the 2 I've been concentrating on only because this is where I knew war was probably going to break out. Ships sunk or scrapped? None. Pretty cool for that. Obviously, you'll scrap ships as they get too old. You can see an area overview. So these gives you where you can just like Excel. So you can see what's in it, what's your base capacity, what's your ship base, your tonnage that's in the area. So you can see I've currently got 47,000 tons of ships in there. Submarine values, and then you can see there once you get all them in, we'll be on there. Base overviews, there's all the bases, and you can see the value, the capacity, air capacity. Once you get aircraft, you'll put bases in there, and then all your officers as well. So these guys will come in and out, and it'll tell you if they're good, bad, rubbish. This guy is incompetent, so I can reassign him, promote him, move him, whatever. I just leave that on auto. Moving on down here is your prestige. If that drops below 15, game over. I said you'll get prestige for, actually below 16. You get prestige for doing things like if you back the Prime Minister, for example, you get more prestige. Fleet morale, that's always been 0. Tonnage on foreign stations, basically have you got enough tonnage out in the colonies? And you can see that in here. So you can see the requirement for tonnage in Southeast Asia is 9,000. We have 10,000 on station. So you can see that it's okay. If you go below that, it'll tell you what to do. Your dock sizes. So the maximum size ship I can build at the moment is 15,500. There's the capacities. We've got an unrest level of 3. If that goes too high, I'm pretty sure, there you go, 10. If it goes above 10, then your citizens will start revolting. Build requirements, you'll be given missions throughout the game to say, we want some more corvettes, want this, and then you have to manage it and go. Treaty limits and treaty time, we've got no treaties, but that's where they would show. Yearly budget is how much you've got to spend. Monthly budget is 11. Maintenance cost, how much our ship is costing to do. So say that is way too high and you're struggling, what you can do is say we'll just select a few ships, you can actually put them into a reserve fleet. So for the moment in Northern Europe, there's nobody there who's gonna fight me. It's only the Germans. If there's all my ships are in here at the moment, so kind of protect. Really could move them across the Baltic, but it would probably increase tensions. So yeah, I've got all my ships in here. I could put them all in reserve and save some money, and therefore I would be saving, some maintenance costs and stuff like that. We've got no naval aircraft. Yeah, they don't really exist. Our research. We're doing some extra training at the moment, so I'm basically training them in some warfare. Got some intelligence going on. Intelligence is led on countries. Via that, if we look on intel reports, you can see here, it'll tell you what they're building. So, like, if I look down here, Italy is building a 12-inch coastal battery in Sicily, which obviously for me is now like, right, okay, that could be a bit of an issue. I might want to start backing it up. And you can see there's loads. There's loads. You can filter all the Italian ones. So we're at war. So they've increased their naval budget. They've also struggling with their research at the moment. They have delayed construction of the DD Pontier. Got some more. So yeah, you can see from there how the intel works. And obviously the more intel you put in the country, the better it is for you. These are the two main things. Monthly balance. You want to kind of keep that in the positives. Mine's currently the negative. That is because I'm currently building 3 ships. So it went down a little bit and then funds will be taken from there. You'll get more budget the more at war you are. So at the moment I've got massive yearly budget because I'm at war with Italy, which is why we're trying to get some more ships out there. Next up is design ship. I know this looks complicated, but I've had loads of fun with this. So you kind of select what kind of ship you want. Obviously, we can't do things like seaplane carrier, aircraft carrier, light aircraft carrier, because they don't exist yet. So say you want another battleship, because this is pre-dreadnought in this era. And then what you can do is actually auto-design. And then the computer will design a ship for you. So you get an idea of what you want to be putting on the ship. So that's like a pre-dreadnought. If we just put it down to a Corvette and then press that button, can you see the Corvette's a lot smaller? It's 1,700 displacement. It's hardly got any armor, hardly any guns, anything like that. So that's kind of how this all works. And I'll just show you with a current build. So if we close that down and we go to our newest one, which I think is this one, 1894. Yeah, that looks like the newest one. So if we go to open design, so this is our ship. So you can actually improve on and refit and stuff like that. To say I suddenly had a radar, I mean, I wouldn't in this yet, but I could put a radar on. How it works is that's your displacement. So obviously the more displacement it is, the more weight you can add to it. You've got your freeboard. I'm sure that's something to do with the top of it. It's always been normal. I would just leave it. Your speed. So we've currently got a speed of 18 knots. Obviously, if you went to 20 knots, you can see here the horsepower, machinery weight would go flying up, and you can see instantly where minus weight. Moving on, engine priority. So you can be normal, you want to be super fast, or you can be reliable. I just leave it on normal. Propulsion. We don't have oil yet, but obviously in the future you can go to diesel and gas. Can you go to nuclear later on? I don't know. We'll see. That's a long way in the future. Belt is your armor. So this is where all the armor starts coming in. So say you want a 14. You can see there it's shot up 12. That's like how much protection you're going to have from shells and stuff like that. There is a huge comprehensive manual covering all this stuff. It's like, 148 pages? But I would recommend if you're going to get this game, give that a bit of a read. Or watch this video and be like, yeah, Tony, that was amazing. Yeah, so you got all the different armors and stuff, and all going to add different weight. What's the armor scheme? Is it going to be flat, protected cruiser, or sloped deck? And then it tells you the things there. Torpedo defense, obviously we don't have to worry about that because we don't really have many torpedoes in the water at the moment. Something we're going to have to worry about in maybe 10, 20 years time. Accommodation, you can choose. So you can see cramped. If they're going to be out at sea a long time, might not be worth having cramped. So I've just been leaving that mainly on normal. But then if you're going to be a colonial service in there, you can take that box, and that means they're going to be one of these guys here, or you can just move it, and it gives you all the stats there. Up here are all the guns, so you can see the caliber. So basically this is your armor penetration table. So at 1,000 range, it can go through a belt of 8.4. At 10,000, it'll go through a belt of 4.95. So you can see there, and it calculates it all up and how all that's going to work. You can up your calibers. If there's next, can you see the guns getting bigger on the side picture there? So we can go all the way up to 20. We don't have any of them because you see X means we don't have them. And quality is quite low at the moment while we research. So I could go up to 13 inch at the moment, would be the biggest I could do. You've got where you want the guns. So you've got forward and aft. I can add a turret. So say I want one on the port wing. Doesn't have the technology for that, but you can see then I can increase the amount of guns. There you go. I want 2 guns there. So you can see he's put there 2 guns. I want 3 guns. So that's how you can do that. You can add how many rounds of ammo you want per gun, but again, that's going to put your weight up, so you want to be careful. We can only do local at the moment. Obviously, in the future, you'll be able to do it from middle whatever or command or whatever. Turret era, you can obviously choose different turret looks. So you can see there. AA guns, obviously, we don't have any of them, but you can put AA guns and where they're all going to be. Moving on to secondary guns. So we've currently got 6 secondary guns up there. You can increase the caliber. You can see they get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And we can have more and more and more and more. So all the way up there, you can have... I know, see. A little bit stupid, but you know what I mean. You can up them, down them, how many rounds they've got. It shows you all the positions. You can change the look of them. You can auto-place them. You got tertiary guns as well. So again, they're just knocking around over here. They can't go very big, but yeah, you can have quite a few of them. And guns per turret, 4. We don't have that yet. And again, you can change that. You can also put additional armament on. So these are your torpedoes. So these are all the different... these mean submerged. So you could put loads of tubes on. As you can see, the tubes go on there. And then add them all in. Mines, when we get mines, we can put that in. We can put anti-submarine weapons on. We can put radar on. We can put the seaplane, helicopter, flight decks. How many aircraft do you want it to have? Its armor on there, the catapult. So you can have 2, 3, 4. Then you can put all the missile launchers on as well. And then you can also set up graphics as well. So there's different shapes, and which I guess could mean some sort of modern in the future. So you could maybe go above 1970, which would be pretty goddamn cool. When you've done that, it's going to have so many errors. But yeah, you can check the tick, and that will let you know if your design's all right. Obviously, in this case, it is not. But yeah, you get the hint. You get a nice little picture there. That's how you design a ship, and it's up to you, whatever you want to do. You can use some pre-existing ones. So say I'm like, actually, let's put a little bit more. I've got 303. Let's up the armor a tiny bit. Let's put a bit more armor there. Actually, I want better caliber guns. Right, save and finish. And you can see it has to be within a certain look of that previous one. So it'll say develop this one. Be like, yeah, you're going to need to create this a new class, new everything. We need more displacement. So you can see here it starts growing. Let's move that up a little bit there. Got 108 thingies. You can send it to USA to build, and then it'll give you a cost at the end. That's ship building in a nutshell. Build ship. You can also click on here, suggest a name. You can call it whatever you want. How many do you want? And then go off and build them. Easy as that. You can click show older designs as well if you want all your old designs to come up. Yay. Build fort base. We've had a look at that already. This is just mean without the map. So, okay, I want some in southern France. I want 11 inches. Boom, done. Research. So, research is one of the only things I've been a little bit disappointed with because I think it could just be a lot better looking in how it all works. But yeah, you can set priority of what you want. As this goes up, you'll get more and more stuff. So, obviously, then submarines will pop in, and radar, and missiles, and all that sort of stuff will go in here. And all you do is set your budget. The guy I was watching recommended 10, 11. So I've put on 11 just to see what it would do. And then you can set its priority. So you might be like, well, I'm not that fussed about ship design at the moment. I'll move that to low, medium. So yeah, you can do all that. It's kind of up to you. Doctrine. This is where you can do your training priorities. So I've got damage control at the moment and just playing around. You can stop or apply. You can then change various things here. Use diver missiles, heavy air shells, torpedo options, naval academy. I'm currently running that. How much ammo you want. So at the moment it's 50-50, but you might be like, actually, I might put a bit more high explosives in there. And then moving on, you can have when the swap rounds as well for the battleships and stuff, and then C and then CL. So you can set all that up if you want. Messages, there's no recent ones. Mobilization will just put all the reserve ships into thingy. Division editor, this is where you start creating your divisions. So you can see here we've currently got 5 battleships in this division. You can set a flagship just by clicking on that button there. You can then set them up to do certain stuff. So this one here, set role, and then we can change them to be like a scout for the battle division. So then they'll be in different positions when you go to battle. It's quite easy to use. Just move it around. If you want to add a ship to it, click add ships. It'll show you the ships you can add. Obviously, you try and keep it to wherever they're going to be operating. You wouldn't put this one in because of the Indian Ocean. It'll be pretty pointless. And there's all the people who are commanding it. So you can see there all the different ships, and that's marked on here. Fleet exercise, you can send your ships off. Got your history. So you can see here we've had the Battle of Bologna, and that's when we went to war. Our fleet tonnage. So you can see there the economy and how many ships have been lost. We done all that damage to Italy, which is pretty cool. Preferences are just the options for the game. So you can do sound and video. There's not much sound in here, by the way, but yeah. Along here, these are, as I said before, these are all your war things. So you can put intel just by clicking the plus and minus. The almanac basically tells you, so currently we're behind in technical development. You can see Great Britain is advanced. What our naval budget is, you can see Great Britain's huge compared to the rest of us. Our fleet tonnage, how many battleships? I've just sunk 2 or 3 Italian ones. How many CAs, CL, so you can compare yourself to how you're doing with everyone else. What's really good, if you select you just want to manage a small fleet, it'll give everyone else a small fleet as well. So you don't have to worry about that. If you go for super large fleet, then obviously everyone else will get a super large fleet. Intel reports, well, I looked at that before. Relations, so you can see at the moment Italy's at war with me and with Austro-Hungary as well. Which is really handy for me because that means they're in 2 wars and I can destroy them. You can see Russia is almost at war with Japan as well. I think they were at war not so long ago, so I don't know what's happened to them. But anyway, this bit here will not be here unless if you're in battle. You can be in there, and then you can save copy game, which is really good because what you can do is copy that save game somewhere else instead of overwriting your save game. I really like that feature. And then turn just means you move to your next turn in the game, which I will show you now. Right, so now that you know the basics of the game, let's click turn. So we now have a battle. However, it's in a place where there's not many ships. As you can see, it's 1 versus 1. However, it'll give you an idea of how battles work in this game on a very small thing. So basically, you get your coastal raid, enemy Italy, location. Do you want to accept? If you decline, it'll give the enemy 255 VP points. We are currently miles ahead, so I could decline. But yeah, we'll click accept just so I can show you how. Oh, there you go. We gained. We won. Yay. So we gained 120 VP for blockade of enemy. And the Italian raider sank a French merchant ship. Oh, very nice. You then get a turn message, which says what they're all doing. So you can see there they've laid stuff down. Lots of DDs. I don't have any DDs. Maybe that's something I should be working on because a lot of other countries seem to be doing it. And this will also show you if anything's going up or down in there, which it hasn't. So we're going to click close. That's your turn done. So we're going to click turn again because nothing happened. Here's a battle. So we've got a cruiser battle. We've got in Italy. It's just outside Crete. And let's accept it. And let's show you how the battle system works. That's fine. Oh, we've got some other ships as well. Now, again, this is going to be a super quick overview of how all this works, but hopefully you'll get a point. This is your battle screen. You can see it zoomed out just on a normal map outside here. You have a bunch of buttons. Along here, you can save at any time. So, like, they can take a while, especially when you're in a big battle. So you can save and then exit. You can end game once the time elapsed has went past 800, or basically the enemy's gone, or you're out of range, or whatever. Preferences, obviously, if I click on there, you can see there's lots of things to click on. Plus, but you can just use the mouse scroll wheel. That one zooms into all ships. You've got this one here, which missiles control panel. We don't have missiles, but that's how it looks like. You can lock the view in place. Along here is all the different arcs. So if I click on there, you can see there's all the different arcs, and then you can turn things off and on and off and on and off and on. Moving on, you can show fire lines, where they're firing from. You can see this, so it shows you like a picture of your cruiser. So if I click there, you can see there, and you can see where the guns, if you look really carefully, you can kind of see where the guns are pointing and stuff, so you know if your guns are broadside, not working. Your division names, ship names, your buttons. So it works in kind of like, almost like a turn-based. So you can go play, which will play basically like a few seconds, run for 5 minutes, run for hours, or just continuously run until something happens, and then you got pause. Game speed. You can put on whatever game speed you want. I usually run it between normal and very fast. It depends what mood I'm in. Along here, you can set game speed. You can see what the weather is. You can see what the time of sunrise is. Because obviously once it gets dark, you might not want to be fighting as much, or you might not see them. You can see the ships, aircraft once you got them. You can order airstrikes on bases. You can add notes. You can auto-run battle if you want to, so you don't even have to do anything. Along here, once you click on a ship, you can set its speed and course. So you can see there all the speeds. You can also you can right click on them, and you can see all the ships in there. Main target aircraft will show you where they're aiming at, and also what the likelihood of them hitting is. You can also set them to AI controlled as well. I must admit, I've been pretty much just setting them to AI controlled, just because I'm not too sure how naval combat works. So I'm a bit like, well, I don't know if I'm doing the right thing. The AI seems to do a pretty good job. But you can manually control them if you click on them. This shows the direction of travel. So if you right click on a ship, so just right click on there, you can see its ammo, its turret, what it looks like, its guns, some data like its hits, chance, and percentages. You can look at its caliber, so what sort of ships you're going to be against. You can see your secondary guns there. You can see your tertiary guns there, how fast it could go, its missile mount, its max speed. And when it gets damaged, you'll see it on here. So you'll be able to see, like, if it's flooding. Once it starts flooding, you might have to start getting slower. Is it evading? Is it going in the same place? So yeah, you can see all that sort of information just by clicking on them. So it's really cool. You can see everything you want to see. So another thing to show you, if I just right click on here, you can obviously see while looking here before the ammo and stuff like that. This is also where you can start changing some stats. So we'll just move it off AI controlled. You can change the speed and course. So turn together basically means they'll turn at the same time rather than one after another, so they don't stay in the same formation. So that could be handy if you don't stop like block shots and stuff like that. You can set the formations. You can set what kind of role they've got, what the formation is, and then obviously in the future you can set them to do combat air patrols and stuff like that. And then along here you've got you can set more cab. You can tell them not to fire torpedoes, so say you're running a bit low or they're wasting them or whatever. So yeah, you can control quite a bit. Number 1 on your keyboard will fast forward time. 2 will go a bit further. There's an unknown ship sighted. Where are you? I don't know where you are. Anyway. Oh, there you are. Hey, little undefined ship. Right, let's press 1 again and get a bit closer. Actually, we'll put you back onto AI control just for the moment. Oh, there you go. So we've got a CL Tripoli class. It is currently, because you can just hover over it if you select the ship, down here I'll tell you the distance. So it's currently 15,000 away. So it's quite far. Nothing's going to happen now. There's some more ships. So let's run this on. They're kind of running away from us at the moment. For some reason. You'll get little pop-ups come up. I don't think we're going to be quick enough to catch them. And that's kind of, because I don't want this to go on for too long, that's kind of how battles will work. Sometimes you'll be chasing them. Sometimes they'll be chasing you. Sometimes you're escorting a convoy. Sometimes it'll just be a massive, big battle. It's how sea combat kind of worked. When you're doing this, what's kind of best to do is just lock it on there. And see if these, so if I just hover over them, you can see they're getting further away. They're gaining. What I can do is maybe see if I can up the speed on this, or could I? Yeah, I can only go to 21. I'd guess they're probably doing. They can do 21 as well, so you can see we're just never ever gonna catch them. Once you're not AI controlled, so can you see there? That means human controlled. That's AI controlled. You can press Shift on your keyboard, and it shows the direction it's going to go in. So if I just move there, can you see how they're going down there now? And then if I put turn together. You see they start turning, then they'll get into formation like that. So that's kind of how it kind of all works. That is how battles work. You'll fight your battle. If you cannot catch them, it's all right. I mean, it'd be better if you could catch them, but chances are we probably won't in this case. And if you want to sort of end the battle early, or you just can't be bothered anymore, just take over control of these ships, point them in a total random direction like that, and then start moving away. In fact, turn them. There you go. See, we're baiting them to come back now, you see. So really, I could maybe send a ship up here, maybe block them off. These are all sort of tactics that you might want to do. We'll just auto-run battle. Do you want to auto-run the battle both sides of AI? Yes. I'm happy with that. Are we going to get any battles? Nope, we're just going to continuously chase them. You can see here at the side, one thing I did forget to show you. This is your all your ships. If you see a little star beside them, it means they've got damage. You'll see a log like that. You'll see reports and also objectives. You might have objectives like sink 2 ships or something. And as you can see, not much is happening in this one. It happens sometimes. Sometimes there's a big war. Sometimes there is not. And I guess we could probably... All right, okay. That's fine. We will wait then. And then it'll just get to 800. And then that'll be over. Opposing forces of far. Do you want to end the scenario? Yeah, there was nothing happened. Literally nothing happened. So that'll just be a draw. There was no battle going on. End it. No one got any points. And here's one of these random events I was talking about as well. So the enemy is surrounded us about to negotiate a peace with us, gain and distribute on some of their colonies. The Prime Minister wants to know your opinion. We can secure even better terms if we crush them completely. We should let them off cheaply. We should press for hard terms. These terms sound like a good basis for peace negotiations. These will all do different things. Usually if you hover over them, it'll kind of tell you and be like, right, you might lose some prestige, you'll gain some budget, some not budget, tensions will rise. And you just kind of hover over them and decide what you want to do. And that is Rule the Waves 3 in a nutshell. Some battles will be amazing. Some will be like that, where nothing happens, because that's just how naval combat worked. It depends if you can catch them up. If they're quicker than you and they see a bigger force, of course they're going to run away. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions or comments, leave them below. And I'll catch you all later. Goodbye.